Hello, everybody. It is your professor, Rocco, your boy, coming at you once again with another Age of Sigmar video. In this class, which I'm going to say it's an AoS general, it might be a master class, we're going to be doing the topic on my green screen. Oh my goodness, everybody. Yeah, we're up at our production value. This is really nice. And the topic of the day is, with little Rocco right there, testing your lists and the three types of games that I try to look for in my list building process, right? Because some people kind of consider me a little bit of a mad scientist when it comes to some of my list building, where I'll put unorthodox things in there, I'll build in extra screens and things, and I just want to talk about my process, which might actually make this a masterclass video. I don't know. Also, if you like the green screen attempt, you know, I'm still working on it. It's not perfect. I think it's pretty cool. And I'm having fun with it. If you like it, drop a comment. If not, say green screen sucks, and I'll ignore it. So, to the topic. When I'm testing a brand new list out, I'm looking for three types of games. And, I like playing like 3 to 5 games before I start really tweaking it, unless something is blatantly wrong. So, the first type of game I look for is when I'm asking my friends, or if I'm on Tabletop Simulator in real life, what I'm looking for is I need to find what the internet says should be a list that I should just beat the snot out of. And that is my first benchmark. If my list cannot beat the thing that I am supposed to, like, 7 times out of 10 beat, and if I get beat bad, that means something very fatal and something very wrong is up with the list or how I'm playing it, and it doesn't, even if it's a good list and I just can't play it, it doesn't fit my play style, then it's not the list for me. All right, I'll say that again. Even if it is a good list, but it doesn't fit how I want to play the game, then that is not the list for me. And I need that first game to be like, cool, do I even like playing this game with this list when I'm going to win? Do I like playing this game with this army? Does it fit like what I want it to do? And also, did I win? That's the important thing. If I can't win the easy matchup that's just supposed to be a knock it out of the park, first pitch, they throw me something nice and easy down the middle, and if I cannot hit that home run, something is either wrong with how I want to play AoS, even if it is a good list, or if I am into this and it just fell flat, there's some fatal list flaw. We didn't pass that first hurdle. This is when I would actually recommend going back to the drawing board. Maybe the battalions you chose, you want to actually fit in a bounty hunter battalion because that's just what would work with the units that you have. Maybe you need expert conquerors. I don't know. Maybe you need to be lower drops in order to determine if you go first or second because it felt bad being made to go first. So we play that kind of a game where you're supposed to win to find out. All right. And then for my second game in this idea, we up the difficulty a little bit. I try to find something that'll go even with what I'm trying to do. Whether it's from friends playing games with their things or someone wants to try out the next net list, you're probably going to be able to find this person at your local gaming store, online, what have you. And again, this is a good test of did the list at least keep it close? Was I always competing? Because again, in theory, if this is an army where I'm playing against it, it could go either way. The game could go either way. There's nothing wrong with that, having a close, tight, well-played game. And if the list still performs, if it still carries out its basic functions, like if I built a list to be anti-magic, and they have magic, did I stop it? Did my thing that I built my list around work? Did my hopefully 3 units that I'm calling my hammer units to deal my damage actually get into whether they are shooting units, into good targets to shoot, or did they get into melee and mess things up? Was I able to be competitive on my objectives? Was I good at board control? Against an army that can do similar things to mine and then we come out even. Did we? If we did, list is good. Then we go on to a harder test. Especially if I won. If I just fall flat on my face, yeah, that's that check, that gut check of okay, something needs to change. Maybe I need to not rely on a certain buffing spell and swap out a hero for an aura where it becomes more automatic. I'm putting too much on the dice when I have other heroes that can just give me the ability for a slightly different, higher price point usually. Do I really need the auto unbind once per game from a knight and canter? Or can I just ally in the Rune Lord from Cities of Sigmar that is much cheaper and I get, +2 to unbind and dispel? And I can use the heroic action, heroic willpower to buff up the dwarf, you know? And then I could free up some points for something else, maybe. This is where we see, is that endless spell really worth it? Is it? Is it? Is it? If it's Purple Sun, probably. As long as it keeps at least the -1 rend aura at the making of this video. Because let me tell you, I've been playing with it recently. Haven't killed a thing at any point in time where it was actually worth it. But the rend from the sun has allowed me to kill whole armies, even when I'm not rolling ones to eat things. So at 70 points, it's still worth it. Not everything's going to be like that, though, and this is a good time to try that out. And again, if I can get a few of these games in, this is where I get to my 2 or my 3, and I'm like, okay, so maybe in one matchup it's not perfect, right? But it's a tough matchup. Did it keep me in it? Great. And then when you feel comfortable in this stage of these types of lists, I look for something that is just supposed to absolutely dumpster the list or faction that I'm playing, right? Just straight up. Whether it's my list specifically or if it's just like, yeah, Idoneth Deepkin are supposed to be a hard counter for Caradron Overlords. I'm playing KO. I want to go and try my army against my thing. I've got some crazy double ironclad, it's the floating fortress bull that no one in my area has tried before. The internet says it should be a bad matchup. I want to see how actually bad it is to see if I can outplay my opponent and if the changes I made to my list to tailor it to me and my playstyle actually matter. Because you are not always going to be able to beat every army every time. As 3rd edition has been rolling out, every army that's gotten an army book has been improved. It's very good. Some of the older army books still are really good, actually, which it's kind of really cool to see, especially with the White Dwarf updates that have been happening. So there hasn't been too much of a power creep, but if everybody's good, and if you're playing up to a better list, better faction that's supposed to hard counter you, you're supposed to lose the game, and that's okay. If you only win 1 out of every 10 games, so say the stats collected by whether it's the Honest Wargamer or whoever, that's okay. But this is where you test your list. To be like, all right, how close did we actually make it? And where do we go from here? And those games are always the most fun to me because I go in with 0 expectations. And then if I can ball out and even keep the thing close and it's not a drastic blowout, I feel really proud of that accomplishment. Because then I punched above my weight class. I'm Captain America before he actually gets Super Soldier Serum, beating the hell out of somebody. And I can only go up from there. And then it's like, all right, cool. That means my list fired on all cylinders. Everything worked. I got every inch of this I could out of the list. And then it's on me as the player to be like, all right, how could I improve myself? Am I able to take advantage of my opponent's mistakes? Are they even making mistakes at that point? when I'm fine tuning something, at that point, it's like, okay, do I have any kind of extra abilities or tricks or synergies that can force my opponent on a good list to make mistakes? Is it the battle plan? Am I playing too much to my opponent, not enough to score in the objectives I need to, and board control? It's small things like that I'm just gonna keep repeating and harping over again. It's because it's the basics of the game. But at higher levels of competitive play, that's generally what it comes down to. It doesn't, if it's two good players on two really good lists, it's going to come down to what the battle plan is and who actually plays it better. Not who's playing the army better. It's a default. You're both playing really well at your armies. So this final thing is also that gut check of, can me playing to the battle plan affect the matchup more than if I am being hard countered or not. And that's more of a test of you than the list at that point. And usually that means your list is fine. It's great. If not fine, it's freaking awesome. And you take that thing to a tournament and you see what you can do. Even if it's a 1-day tournament, a Rogue Trader tournament, 3 games over the weekend. At that point, it's also kind of your endurance as well, whether you remember all your rules, play at a time, and do what you can. But going in, if you've passed all 3 steps to testing your list here, which again, to recap, was, can you beat an army that you're supposed to beat? Can you go even with an army you're supposed to go even with? And then, can you punch above your weight class and take on a way better army that's supposed to beat you? If you especially do part 3, you did it. You won Age of Sigmar. Congratulations. And go have all the fun in the world. And like and subscribe to this video too. Remember where you came from, okay, dear student? And thank you all for coming to class today. I hope the green screen was cool. Again, I'm still working on some things with it. I know I have kind of a fuzzy outline, but my camera's better on me. So, we're getting there. It's all work in progress. And, we're doing it for you, dear viewer. So, again, thank you for coming to class. Like and subscribe. Spread the word. Recently, I did a collaboration stream with Scrain Games, where I did a 4-hour stream of teaching Age of Sigmar. I'm going to try to link to their YouTube channel to help spread it out. And I'm going to actually link the Honest Wargamer to this video too. Because I think I was supposed to do it a few videos ago, but I don't remember if I actually did. So, and I love them. I love Rob. I love Ziggy, the whole stats crew, the whole bit. Rob, the host there, can be a very big firebrand and very big personality that can rub people the wrong way. And that's okay. Don't have to like everybody. Don't have to like all their styles and skills, but the reporting's good. It doesn't have to be everyone's cup of tea. But I definitely have used enough of their stats to inform my research for things, so I just want to make sure I give them the credit where credit is due. So thank you for coming to class, and as I like to say at the end of all of our videos, class dismissed. Bye.